Good morning, children. So today we'll start with lesson 11, saving the limi. So what is limi? Limi is a medicinal plant. That is, it is a special plant with white flowers and shiny green leaves. It is used for cold and cough and aching bones. So here we will read how Kanchi, a young girl from Nepal, with her grandmother and her brother Daju, goes in search of the limi plant. So Kanchi, a young girl from Nepal, went to the forest with her grandmother and her brother Daju in search of the limi plant. The limi is a special plant that has white flowers and shiny green leaves. It is good for cold and cough and aching bones. Because people do not always look after plants and trees, there are fewer and fewer of them left. So Kanchi, grandmother and Daju did not know whether there are any limi plants left. So after ferrying across the river, ferrying means crossing, they walked through a sal forest and a bamboo thicket, but they did not find the limi there. So what do you mean by sal? Sal means it is a North Indian tree. Then thicket. Thicket means group of many trees. So after crossing many rivers and forests, they did not find the limi plant. So let us read the story how they found the limi plant and what happened next. They climbed higher and came to a waterfall and rushed over the rocks. They stopped here for a drink. Kanchi looked carefully at all the beauty in that wet and green place. She also looked for the 5-petal white flowers of the limi. 5-petal means the limi flower is white in color and it has petals, 5 petals. But she did not find them near the waterfall. They now climbed higher where no grass grew, only moss and small herbs beneath the tall trees. So did not find the limi plant beneath. Beneath means down, below the tall trees also. She found only moss and herbs. What do you mean by herbs? Herbs means the plants that is good taste and it used for medicines. And what do you mean by moss? Moss means soft green plant that grows like a carpet. Especially the mosses grow where the soil is moist. Looked all round and green and mossy place for the white flowers of the limi plant, but she did not find them there. Then they came to the highest place where no trees grew and white snow lay on the stony ground. Stony ground means the plains were full of stones, covered with lot of stones. Kanchi looked carefully around that white and stony place to find the starry flowers of the limi, but she found none there. There were many flowers, but she could not find the limi plant. They walked carefully back down the steep path through an oak forest. What do you mean by steep path? The road that slopes up through an oak forest. Oak is a kind of large tree. Kanchi looked up at the trees and at the blue sky. The forest world was so wide, means the forest is so wide, means it is full of trees. It is so vast. There was a quick movement and the squirrel leapt down. Leapt means made a big jump. The forest world was so full of life. Full of life, why it is called? Because there are so many animals, trees, varieties of animals, trees and flowers we can find there. She looked down at the place where it had disappeared. Means all of a sudden she saw the squirrel and all of a sudden it disappeared. It was a tangle of tiny plants and vines, a small garden. The forest had so many trees. The forest is described as a small garden where we can find, or the Kanchi found so many trees, varieties of trees, that is jumble of things, that is the plants, the green flowers, fruits, varieties, flowers belonging to different, having different colors. So Kanchi, then she looked again at her feet. Kanchi saw a mass of white starry flowers, the smell, the lovely scent. It must be the limi, grandmother Daju, she called. So Kanchi all of a sudden saw the white flowers and she thought that it might be the limi plant and the smell was also beautiful. So she called her grandmother and Daju. Then let's find out what happened. Come quickly. They came. It was indeed. We must notice where it grows, said Daju, as he drew a picture of the flower in his notebook. We must not disturb it, for every plant is precious. Precious means valuable. If we move it, it may die. I will come back after the flowering and collect some seeds of planting. Maybe our mountains will again have the sweet smell of limi, finished Daju. Miss Daju, when they saw the limi plant, he thought of not picking up the full limi plant because it might extinct. We should not find that plant again. So, he told them that we should not pluck the full limi plant because its leaves, flowers, all are precious. The sallows were swinging in wide sweeps in the valley as they neared home. Daju carried grandmother's umbrella and his bag. Grandmother carried a spray of red flowers and Kanchi carried a head full of forest memories. So, what they found in the forest? The small limi plant. So, what do you mean by sweeps? Sweeps means the white large circles. White sweeps means large circles in the valley as they neared home. Neared home as they were near their home, means from the forest they were going to the home. Daju carried grandmother's umbrella and his bag, and the grandmother carried what? The red flowers from the forest that she got. And Kanchi carried head full of forest memories. What do you mean by head full of forest memories? Means whatever she saw in the forest, that was in her mind. She was very excited. So, this is just a part of Kanchi sees and learns in the forest that day. What did they learn? They learned the special use of plants and how poor villagers are often paid very little money to collect seeds, roots, flowers and leaves for rich business people who sell them at higher price. So, what does Daju, Kanchi and the grandmother learn from the forest? And we also learn, children, that the forest are the valuable source of our life. Without forest, our life is valueless. We should preserve forest and its flowers, fruits, everything, and the animals also. We are dependent on the forest for our life. So, children, forest give us life, the medicinal uses and prevents us from diseases.